We talk all the time about sustainability. Yet the oldest and most sustainable organizations in the world, we as conservationists have largely ignored. That's the religions. They've been around longer than any other human structure that is still functioning in its basic original form. So if we want to understand something about sustainability, why don't we look at the communities that have been going for hundreds, and in some cases thousands of years? Now, almost immediately, people will say, yes, well, that's very nice, but what about the fundamentalists? And I have to say, yes, they are an absolute pain in the arse. Because they are so convinced that if only you will do as they say, believe what they believe, follow exactly their prescriptions to save the planet, then everything will be okay. And if you don't, then you are a pariah. You are cast out into outer darkness where there is wailing and gnashing of teeth and annual reports. And you know, some of the religions are almost as bad. Because what I'm talking about is the conservation world. You can be as fundamentalist as some of the hardliners that I know. And to put it into perspective, one of the most helpful things I ever heard was when someone said to me, fundamentalism, think about a swimming pool. I went, pardon? And think about a swimming pool. He says, where does most of the noise come from? And the answer, of course, is the shallow end. Now, the reason we work with faiths is really quite simple. They own about 8% of the habitable surface of the planet, outright. My own church, I'm an Anglican. We own 10% of England, outright. Rural, forestry, urban, etc. In some places, such as Lebanon, about 90% of the land is owned by the faiths. They run about 50% or contribute towards 50% of all schools and educational establishments worldwide. And in sub-Saharan Africa, that figure in some countries rises to 70%. And we're not talking about hardline madrasas training terrorists. We're talking about actually just providing basic primary education, often as part of the state system. But we seem to have ignored the fact that these are faith-based organizations. 85% of the world's population claims membership of one of the faith communities that we work with. They are the third largest investing group in the world. And they produce more weekly newspapers and magazines than the whole of the expanding and slightly contracting European Union. So the question isn't why would you work with religions, the question surely has to be why on earth wouldn't you?